Okay, so it just starts recording. Whatever. So, I took my stuff down. I still have that second layer, right? The layer I was wearing beyond this, the long sleeve. I'm going to count on the openness of this weave while protected by another layer to keep the warmth in. When it is not protected by another layer, it is maybe less insulative than a normal shirt. I'm not entirely sure about that. It seems like, especially with the wind, this by itself would not be a good insulative layer. Which is exactly what I'm banking on as I strip off layers. I can leave this one in short sleeve mode, and if I ended up getting cold, I can cover it up again. No need to stop and get stuff out of my pack. That's a benefit I didn't really consider when I purchased the thing. But being on the trail practical, makes sense. And because I want my kit that I keep in the car, I can stop anywhere at any time in the winter and go hiking if I want. I put a bunch of stuff in my backpack, and regardless of whether I need it or not, I just carry it with me. To a certain extent. There's some things that don't make it in the backpack at all because they are bulky or heavy, and if I were to need them, I would know that I needed them when I got out of the car. Snow pants, that's not going to be a surprise. You're not traveling so far in the woods as to say, oh, now there's snow I had no idea there was here. I need snow pants to deal with it. You only need snow pants when, I don't know, there's a decent amount of snow on the ground. And in that case, gaiters would mostly do you well. So what the snow pants also bring to the table is insulation, a temperature change. And you'd know as you got out of your car that there would be, you know, the temperature here would be of this level. Now, what if I were to get stuck outside when I'm out doing something like this, and it's freaking cold? It's freezing outside. At night, you might get down to the teens or the 20s. If I'm forced to be out here in the woods in such adverse conditions, what would I want to have with me? Well, I need shelter and warmth, maybe some food. These are, by and large, things that I carry with me. Though, as we speak of snow pants and their insulative value, it reminded me that I don't currently have a top quilt of sufficient potency, or yet any at all, in my backpack. I have my hammock and tarp to provide shelter. I have my underquilt, my 0-degree underquilt. What I do not have is a sufficient top quilt, which would take care of my pants, you know. I don't have any for my top in the back of this thing, you know. I'm fully layered up, right? In addition, I've got my vest, imagine the vest, but with sleeves and a hood that would go over that vest. These are all synthetics, so they will not compress as I lay on them, though even if they do compress, I'm protected by the underquilt, the thickest part of the underquilt. The legs don't get quite as much attention as the back and the waist does. That doesn't mean it's not an important part, so I would need something to cover my legs. And the snow pants fit the bill. For my feet, well, I have those little keep my feet warm things. And I've got socks. I got another set of insulative booties. Apparently, there's a problem on Amazon. If you order this product, this insulative booty, it's got great reviews. You order it from Amazon, and you end up ordering a size smaller than you think you did, or 2 sizes smaller. And the only way to know that mapping is incorrect, or to verify that it's correct, oh look, the thing back to the summit that I was talking about. So there's the summit that's got a decent little place to camp out. In fact, given the wind and the propensity of the wind to rip through that other peak, and for it to be protected here by this angle of wind that I'm feeling right now, I'd be better off on the Jerry Hill summit today. All right. So I ordered freaking those booties before, too small. And I was like, well, my mom is always complaining about cold feet. I'll give them to her. And anyway, I was like, I need something better than those booties. I need something warmer. So I did my research, came up with the same answer again. Only this time, in the interim, somebody came across that this is how you can verify thing. And using that and guidance about the sizing, which, of course, given the nature of their screw up, might just confuse customers. I purchased a set that was too big. And I said, well, I like this thing, but it's too damn big. I like it enough that I just kind of want to wear it. Not that it doesn't overheat, and not that it always does its job, right? I was wearing those things in bed with my feet elevated a little bit, and they were just cold. It's another hiker. How's it going? Who knows how long that guy has been hearing me, if at all. Probably not, especially with the wind. And when I have them in the car, these booties, because I might just be walking around at home and then walk out wearing those booties, knowing that I keep other shoes in the car. If I need to go somewhere where booties are inappropriate. They drive really well. And the ones that I thought that were too large work really well with a sock. As I wear them at home, I have no need for a sock. And so they were just too big. Anyway, these booties can also be too hot when I'm lying in bed, which ironically is also the same place where they can be too cold. Here's our vista. And what I do here is I hang, put my hammock up, in between a couple trees, and we've got plenty of options here. I think I usually run off of this tree to this tree, which leaves me with a good spot to hang my pack. I don't need to use one of the trees if I've got a sweet little thing like this, and a spot to sit. Though if I wanted to sit here, I don't think I'd want to run a line to that tree. I'd want to run a line to that tree, which might take a little butchering of that nascent giant of the forest. But the fact of the matter is, I typically don't sit on this. I'm here not to sit on a rock. If I wanted to sit down, there's that freaking bench, right? Probably would have a better view too. And this is one of the places that I break the rule, you know, the point your feet at the point of ingress. So if I run from this tree to that tree and pointed myself in this direction, that'd be fine. Because the fact of the matter is, when you're out here at one of these vistas where, you know, the view's supposed to be great, in the hammock, you don't see the view the whole time, right? Most of the time, you're looking up at the canopy. Especially with, you know, a hammock that's got an integrated bug net, a ridge line, you know, a structural ridge line. You can't just kind of fold those guys up and sit in them like a sitting hammock. So if you do want to do your day hike and kind of sit on a peak like this and look out at the mountains, maybe find some kind of lightweight hammock chair that you stick in your pack and you set it up. I haven't really valued that in the past, but we'll see what that looks like. I think I'm going to look that up. It'd be a fun, like, interesting diversion, something new up around here besides the scenery. I hike in all kinds of different places. The scenery is always changing, and of course, the scenery here never changes, which is why I know about this place and maps exist. Let's not say never. Let's say with great infrequency. Anyway, so all I have is my hammock. I don't have one of those things, and so when I do light it up, I'm not going to consider, can I see the mountains? Or at least that's the smart play. Sometimes I'm like, well, In fact, this time I'm like, well, I know I'm gonna lay in this direction if I go this way with my feet pointing that way. And when that happens, my head is gonna be a little lower and I'm gonna get this angle that is gonna show me probably that stuff. And that angle, this one, is gonna be even better than the other angle that I had set up. So I'm gonna give that a shot. That was dumb. I should have put... Did I do that? What I need is my straps. And ideally, I'd like to have my straps readily available, i.e. in one of these front packets. I surely have enough space for them. But I don't. I'm putting things I do not value as much there. Alright. I need to frickin' dick around with that. I shall return, probably.